Now to start with, I'll start with my introduction. So my name is Vikas and I work for MNC here in Bangalore. I have like 14 years of IT experience where I have worked with cloud technologies like AWS and DevOps, and I have good expertise in data engineering, project of migration and all those things. So the agenda for today, the training or the session what we have for today is for AWS Athena. So Athena, many of you might have heard about it. It may be a new term for few of you. So Athena is a serverless service on AWS, which will help you to query the data. So we will go ahead and talk about what is serverless, what is querying the data, what data will you query. All these things is what we will be talking about. So what we will do is we will first talk about the agenda of the meeting. What are we going to discuss today? And then we will take them one by one. So the first thing is, what is Amazon Athena and why is this service so popular among all the AWS users? Then when should you use Athena? What are the benefits which you get when you use Athena? The use cases, how does internally Athena works? How is the pricing done for Athena? And then other features, followed by a hands-on session where we go ahead and tell you how to use this particular tool. Now, moving ahead, when we talk about solution architect training, it's a training path or it's a set of activities which we need to do. So each activity is followed by a hands-on session because it's an incremental way of learning where you not only learn them but know how to implement them in a real-time scenario. So if I say introduction to AWS, so unless and until I know why AWS is being used, what are the good things which I get about AWS, how will I implement it on my real-time project? So in this particular training or in the trainings which Edureka conducts, they make sure that they give you real-time hands-on expertise. The hands-on will help you to gain project experience, because tomorrow when you go for a job change, they will ask you what kind of project experience you have, what kind of real-time hands-on expertise you have, what is your biggest challenge which you faced while doing the project, how did you resolve it? So people or the interviewer is interested in knowing answers to these questions. So Edureka will help you to get into all these things and come out successfully as a solution architect. Now, today, everybody is aware of AWS. And when we talk about AWS, AWS comes with a lot of services. Out of these lot of services, there is one service called Athena. When I say Athena, Athena is serverless. So when I say serverless, the simple meaning is that you do not manage any servers. Automatically, machine learning algorithms of AWS will work and they will manage the servers for you. So you just use the service. Second, it gives you analytic skills. Means suppose I give you a big database or I give you a file which is, let me say, 2 GB. Now there is a lot of content inside that data. So you don't know actually what that data is, how that data looks like. So you need to get the analytics insight of that. So Athena will give you that analytic insight. Then it is integrated with all the services of AWS. You write simple SQL language queries like select star from the table name. So like this, if you have a basic understanding of SQL, you can easily work with Athena. So the files. So at the end of the day, you will get some input files. Your customer will provide you some input files. So those files can be in Arvo format, JSON format, CSV format, Parquet format. So we will be processing them and getting the insight of that. Okay, so Parquet and ORC also came here. The most important thing which Athena gives you is it gives you pay as you go model. Pay as you go model is that if you're using that service, you pay for that. If you're not using that service, you do not pay anything for that. And this is a big plus. Now think of a website. Let me say I'm running a trading website, and the trading website operates only when the market is open. So if there is a bank holiday, I need not run my servers. If I'm not running my servers, I end up saving a lot of money. So I can use pay as you go model, which my cloud provider is going to give me. Then When should I use Athena? Is it like for every other thing I want to use Athena? No. Whenever you have a big data set and you want to analyze that data, you should use Athena. Athena is good enough to query your structured data, semi-structured data, and unstructured data. So irrespective where your data is coming from, you can just process that data using Athena. One more good thing about Athena is that Athena uses S3 for storage, and Athena itself doesn't have any storage component. So you store all the data in S3, and S3 is very, very cheap when it comes to storage. That we just now discussed that it is a SQL type of language, so you can write your queries as you want. Now, many a times when you come with the data in a CSV format or in an Excel format, it may not look that great. So what you can do is you can integrate with some third-party tool. You can integrate it with Tableau. You can integrate it with Power BI. You can integrate with tools like QuickSight. So ClickView. There are many tools with which it can be integrated, and you can give a good insight of your data. You can give a pictorial view of your analytics. And obviously when you are doing a presentation and when you show a bar chart, you show a bar graph, pie chart, your data will be more appealing and you will be able to convince your customer that, okay, this is your problem. So this is what can be done using Athena. So Athena can help me to generate reports, because at the end of the day, when you go and talk to your CEO or you're talking to your CTO or your project manager, you need to show him the report. Like, these many incidents we received, this was our turnaround time, this is these many incident breached, okay, this is the customer happiness index. So this is all data which you can go ahead and use it. Moreover, when you are sitting on a historic data, you can explore the data and you can do trend analysis. Like, okay, which month I'm expecting more customer, is it in the month of January, February, like that. You can do trend analysis. So all these machine learning work can be done using Athena. Athena can be integrated with something called Glue. So I will teach you in the demo session. I'll show you how a Glue crawler can crawl my data, collect the metadata, and based on that, I can go ahead and query on top of my DB. So I will be using Glue, and with the help of Glue, my Glue will crawl the data, it will collect the metadata, create a table, and then finally you can query that using Athena. So it will work like a magic, but we will see what is the process behind it. When we talk about key benefits of Athena, there are many benefits, but we are illustrating few of them. We say that the moment you get the data set, you can start querying. You can pay only for the data scan. If you have, let me say, 20 terabytes of data, 20 TB of data, but you're scanning only 2 GB, you pay only for 2 GB. It is very much SQL-like language, which is open source, powerful, and standard SQL commands will run here. It is very fast and it is reliable. Now, when should I use Athena? What are the common use cases here? So if you have to analyze your data, which is sitting in your CloudFront or VPC or logs, so any log data, if you want to analyze, you can use Athena. If you want to integrate with some visualization tool, I just now told that you can integrate it with Power BI, you can integrate with Tableau. And if you have some log analysis, some system is failing and you want to you want a log analysis, so definitely you can use Athena. How does Athena work? So internally, Athena uses Amazon S3, which will store the data. The data then goes to crawler. The Glue crawler will crawl the data for me and collect the metadata. That metadata will be stored in a catalog table, and that catalog table you can use Athena to query the data. And if you want to visualize that, you can put it in a QuickSight. So this is how it works. Now, is it Athena very costly, or how is it? So the best thing is you pay only for the actuals. You do not pay for the idle time. I just now told that if you have 20 TB of data and you scan only 2 GB, you end up paying only for 2 GB. So suppose you can see here $5 per terabyte. So it's very, very cheap. number of bytes scanned, it is not going for the entire data set, and there is no charge for DDL. So if you go with data definition language, like if you create a table and all those things, it will not charge you anything for that. Now, if you cancel a query, suppose there is a long running query and you cancel it, then there will be no charges. So charges will only be there in case you scan the data and you get the output. So it is very effective and it gives you a lot of features. These are the features which we want to highlight. It is easy to start. In our demo, we will just now see that how quickly we can start, how quickly we can query, and the performance, the speed at which I get the output. It is highly available, durable. So night 12 o'clock, I suddenly wake up and say that let's work. It is available for you. There's no that, okay, it is night, let's do it in morning. Nothing like that. It is secure. Security is one of the important questions which has been asked by all the customers when they say that we have to migrate to cloud. They will say, how secure is my data when I move to cloud? So it is very much secure, and it allows federated queries. Now, what is a federated query? Now, many a times, let me say I am going to a website. So let me say I'm going to a website like Pinterest. Okay. Now, if you try to go inside this website, they will ask you to log in. Okay. But there will be a unique thing here. Not unique, it is used by many websites. But if you see here, it says if you have a username and password, put it here. But if you don't have a username and password here, you can log in via Facebook, you can log in via Google. So here, this way of login is called federated query or federated way of logging. So our Athena allows us to log in and query the data in that fashion, which is a big thing. Now let's do a hands-on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to log into my AWS account. So let me just come here and say, I'm assuming that you also have an AWS account. So I'm going and logging to my AWS account. Now, if you remember this diagram, yes, this diagram. So it says the data should sit in S3, then my crawler will crawl the data, and finally a glue catalog table will be created, which finally Athena will query, and QuickSight can view the data. So let's do one thing. Let's start with S3. So when I go to S3, S3 is the storage component for me. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a bucket, or if I already have a bucket, I'll start with that only. So I have a bucket here, which I can see. The bucket name should always be unique. So if I go inside this bucket, I can see some file is there. I'll delete this file. Let me delete this file. So just say permanently delete. So as of now, if you come here, you will see that nothing is there. In this dummy bucket 2810, nothing is there. It is empty. So what I will do is I'll try to upload a file here. But as of now, I don't have a file. So what I will do is I'll go ahead and create an Excel file here. Let me say sample dot, or I'll just open it first. Let me just open it first. Later I will save it. Okay, so this is my file. Let me say I'll create a CSV file. The file will be very simple. It will have name, age, sex, occupation, and let me say date of birth. So these are the details which I have or I want to put here. So name, let me say the name is Vikas. His age is 34 years old. He is a male and he is a solution architect by profession. So let me say he is architect, and his date of birth is, let me say, some random numbers. Okay. Similarly, I will have another set of customers or their details. So let me say the name is, she is 23 years old. She is a female. And let me say she is a software engineer and her date of birth is, okay, don't go by the calculation. It's just some random data I'm populating. then I have Dave, then I have Lily, then I have okay. I'm just populating some random numbers. I just want to create some sample data. And let me say he is a plumber, he is a electrician, this guy is a politician, this guy is a student, and this guy is a, let me say this guy is a, he is a driver. Some random numbers I'm going to put here. He was born in 2001. Okay, so these are some random numbers which I have just put just to see whether I can scan this data and I can understand what is there. So what I will do is I'll come here and say file, I will save as, and here I will make sure that it is saved as CSV. I'll give a name. So let me say sample. So sample.csv is what I get, and I'm going to put it in my desktop. So it went to my desktop. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to back to my AWS account. Yeah, this is my AWS account. I'll upload that content which I have just now created. So I'll simply say upload, and I will come here and say add files. So I go back to my desktop and I will look for that guy, sample.csv. Click on this, double click, and you can see that this sample.csv, which is 255 bytes, is getting uploaded. It's a CSV file. Upload this. Now, the moment you upload this, this will get uploaded to your S3 bucket. So this is my bucket, and this data is stored here, sample.csv. Now what I will do is I will take this, or I want this data to go to my glue. Okay, glue crawler should crawl it. So I'll go to glue and I will type glue here. I find glue. It says it's a serverless data integration service. So I'll go to glue. Let this come up. Now make sure that if your bucket is created in, let me come here. So if this bucket is in North Virginia, you can see it is in North Virginia. This guy should also be in North Virginia. Okay. Here you will find there is something called crawler. Click on this. Say I want to create a crawler. I want to create a crawler. Give a name. Any name is okay. Sample, CRAWLER, sample crawler. If you want, you give a description. Else leave it. Say next. Is your data already mapped to the glue table? Say no, not yet. Where is your data source? So I will add my data source. I will say it is there in S3 bucket. Okay. And I don't have any network connection, so I'm not going to do anything. Where is the path? So you will say it is in the same account, and you browse, and this is the place where I have my data. So if I click on this, I will choose this. So it says this is the required field. So I just give a backslash and it is able to track that. And I say crawl all the subfolders, means everything what is there, you take everything. And that's it. Add the data source. Then I'll go here. Now next is, so I have added my data source. Any custom classifier you have? No. Next. Any IAM role which you want? Yes, definitely I will need an IAM role. IAM role is one component of AWS will want to talk to another. So I'm going to create a new IAM role. Okay, give a name of your choice. So it will have this prefix, and then after that, whatever you want to do, you can give that. I'll say sample role, create. Once it is created, it will auto populate here. Then again, this is lake formation, which is not covered here, so it is optional. Next. Now it says, would you like to create a database? Because at the end of the day, I want to query something. So I'll say, yes, I would like to add a database, or you can go ahead and give a name to this. say sample DB. So this is my catalog table which is going to get created. I'll simply come here and say create the database. So sample DB what got created here. If you go and do a drop down, you will see your, let's refresh this guy. You can see sample DB now. You want to prefix and all? No, I don't want to do anything. Crawler schedule. When would you like to run this crawler? So I'll say it is on demand. Next. And then you're all set. You can review everything. And if you're happy, go ahead and say, I want to create a crawler. So the crawler creation, sample crawler creation is done and it is ready. Now, if you have to run this, you can click on this and you can come and say run. Now what will happen is this crawler will start running. So when I say the crawler is running, I simply want to say that the crawler will crawl the data, or it will go to my S3, see what data is present there. Based on that, it will go ahead and create a table for me. So as of now, I will have something from my previous class. So this 2 I will delete. Capital D. Okay, so tables as of now, this is my table from, I think this is the old content which I have. Let's delete this guy also. I'm just cleaning it off. Meanwhile, fail to delete all the tables. Okay, let's come here to database. This table should automatically get deleted. Anyhow, I'm here at the crawler and I'm making sure that this guy runs properly. So you can see it is stopping right now. And here it says something has been created. So meanwhile, I'll delete this guy also. Okay. So you can see this crawler ran, and as of now, it is stopping. And it says that I have created something for you, and it is a table which has been created. So here the logs will come. If you go inside the logs, you will see that this is the database sample DB. Okay. And if you go inside this database, you will see a table has been created. Now the name of the table is nothing but the name of the bucket. And this is your database. And this is where the data has been picked up from. Now the good thing is it recognized that the data is CSV and this is my table data. So you can say table data. It will say you will be taken to Athena to preview the data and you will be charged separately for Athena. Are you okay with that? So you can say proceed and it will take you to Athena. Now this is Athena console for you. Now if you see carefully, the Athena console is like any other query editor. You can simply come here and write a query. So you can choose your AWS data catalog is my schema. This is my database name and this is my table. So you can see here, I can see one table here and automatically it takes all the values. Name is a string, age is a big int. This is string, string, string. And the good thing is if you run the query, you will see this data. The another good thing is you can download the result, you can run query on that, you can run any type of query. So you can run something like this. Select star from, this is your table name, and you can do something like this, where age greater than, let me say 25. Control A, and you run this. So now it will try to execute that. So it says 4. These are the 4 items which are greater than this thing. So this can be done easily. So I did not provision any infrastructure. I did not do anything basically. I just crawled my data. First, I put the data in S3. Second, I run a crawler. Third, I run a Athena. So it is serverless, easy to digest, easy to work with. One more thing which I can do is I can work with QuickSight. So I have something called QuickSight, and here I can integrate the stuff and I can see the same data. So what I am trying to do is I'm having some sample records, right? But in real-time environment, you will have thousands and thousands of records, millions of records. So for that, you can run an analysis and you will get bar charts, pie graph, bar graph, pie chart on all these heat maps and all. So you can do the analysis based on your QuickSight. Now, this is what we had proposed, or this is what we had for our demo today. So we'll drop now and keep learning, guys. See you then. Bye bye.